Well, Mauricio Pochettino was officially announced as the USMNT manager. They did the press conference today. We're going to dive into it. We're going to wait a little bit, wait for a couple people or more people to jump in here. But Mauricio Pochettino was officially announced as the USMNT manager. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the comments he had, some of the things he said regarding some of the players, what he's expecting. Answer some of your questions that you have. We're going to probably go 30 to 35 minutes, maybe a little more, and just get the overall view of like what you guys thought about that. I thought it was interesting when the stream worked, right? A little bit of audio issues when he started off, which wasn't good. Kind of like killed the vibe a little bit, especially when his first words is the USMNT manager. But yeah, we're going to get into a couple comments. Make sure you like the show, subscribe to the channel, share with a friend. We're trying to grow our audience as much as we can to discuss Mauricio Pochettino's introductory press conference to the USMNT. Just give me 1 sec. I'm going to share this link on my Twitter account. But I thought it was just to summarize. Just we'll dive into it more. I thought it was pretty good. I liked most of the answers he said. It was definitely a breath of fresh air compared to what we've got with Greg the last couple years. Just give me 1 sec to sharing this real quick. Okay, got that shared. So we got a couple comments. Let's see. Mexican American says hello. Judgmental Deity says big ups, Tim less moves, and Poch. We finally got a real coach in charge. Yeah, we do, man. We do. We have somebody competent who knows how to win, has a great resume, said some very positive things, which we're going to get into. Yeah, I'm excited what I heard today. Obviously we're gonna have to see some results on the pitch, but this is a good start. And having going from Greg to Poch is just people use the saying zero to hero, but it really is true. I mean, talk about night and day difference of quality. Matt Crocker, I have a date tonight with Cindy. Well, good luck with that, man. You guys should celebrate. Hey, Mexican American says, hearing Pochettino talk made me think of that song, I'm a Real American. The Hulk Hogan theme song. Yeah. So I'm gonna pull up a couple quotes that he had during his press conference. So one of the things that was interesting to me, and especially since of what I cover, I'd love to know what you guys think about this. Pochettino said that he is open to calling up players from the existing squad, from MLS, from anywhere in the world. The door is open. So there was a lot of backlash, obviously, with Greg Berhalter calling in some of the MLS regulars, Jordan Morris, Christian Roldan. Oh, God, who else? Well, even Walker Zimmerman got some flack when he was getting called in. So that's an interesting point that he said he's willing to call in players no matter what league. Yeah, no, he didn't. No one asked. That's what I literally heard him say that. Anyway, that's interesting to say that he said that he would be willing to call in players no matter where they're from in the world. I thought that was interesting because I think that obviously good players can play in any league, especially if a guy's playing in a top league, but he's struggling with his form, but he got an MLS who's killing it. I mean, you have to base it on how they're playing, not just of what club they're playing for. I think Patrick Schulte's obviously got a bright future for the USMNT. He's only 23 years old. I'd like to see him get some more appearances for the USMNT, see what he can do. Obviously, the Canada showing didn't really help him out, but I don't think that was really his fault. I think that obviously the back line did him no favors in that match. But I mean, wouldn't you rather take a guy who might be the best goalkeeper in MLS versus a guy who is playing in the championship, who's not getting any starts like Matt Turner, or maybe he will start to get some playing time now. But I think form is very, very crucial to the decisions you make. Um, so I think that was I think that was a key point, and hopefully, like John Brooks will get back into the fold. John Brooks is only 31 years old, so I still think he could at least give us a World Cup cycle, and be able to contribute and hopefully help us out. Mister says superb appointment. Matt Crocker deserves credit. I thought rehiring Greg was stupid, but he got this one right. He deserves credit 100%. I think that uh, you know, uh, I didn't have the expectations we'd be able to get someone like this. I thought that we would probably end up hiring an MLS coach again, just because it's not that we couldn't hire someone like this. It's just that we didn't have the people running the soccer federation who were competent enough to hire a good manager. So I had low expectations. I thought we were going to end up hiring Steve Cherundolo. That's what I heard. Steve Cherundolo was salivating to get this job. And so, yes, credit to Matt Crocker, credit to JT Batson, credit to Cindy getting this done. And I thought that report was interesting too, about them saying that they were speaking to Jurgen Klopp pretty regularly about this job. It wasn't just a one-off, apparently, where they said, "Hey, Jurgen, do you want to come coach USMNT? Are you interested?" And he said, "Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm done with coaching for now." Like, apparently, there was a lot of conversations, and if it wasn't for Jurgen Klopp having so much respect for Liverpool and not wanting to screw them over, especially just retiring, I believe he probably would have taken this job. But listen, that doesn't really matter because we got Mauricio Pochettino. And I think Klopp is definitely a tier, or maybe not a tier, but he's above Pochettino. But I think Pochettino could give us just as good results as what Klopp could have done for this team. I really do believe that. I think Pochettino has proven himself a lot over his career, especially at Tottenham, with a team that doesn't traditionally spend as much as the bigger clubs in the Premier League. And he was able to have some great finishes, second place finishes, Champions League runner up, very, very impressive feats. And hopefully he can bring some of that to the USMNT. PJ says, watch Mckennie goes to Saudi after he hears this. Yeah, he cash out, right? Cash out and chill and not have to worry about anything. Make 15 million a year. Go to all the hookah bars and just kick back and relax. Horvath gets more playing time and he's in the championship. Horvath gets more playing time than Matt Turner. He said more in the first minutes than Greg said in 6 years. Yeah, I mean, seriously, that's what it felt like, right? Just when he was speaking, everybody was listening when the mic worked, right? And he just the confidence he exudes is just so different. Like Greg, man, when he was in charge, you just didn't have any confidence at all. You felt like you were always down. Hell, even when the game started, it was 0-0. You already felt like you were down 3-0, just with the lack of confidence that he boasts. So, yeah, this is definitely a breath of fresh air. Matt Crocker made a mistake with Greg, but to be fair to him, without Matt, we probably don't get Poch without the connection. Yeah, so Matt Crocker obviously, I think, worked at or has a connection with Mauricio Pochettino with their time at Southampton. I definitely think that played a role into his hire. And I'm glad that Pochettino didn't take the English national team job. That was like the one job that I was really concerned that he would take maybe over the USMNT job. But hey, listen, we were able to get him. We were able to. So, what do you guys think about his salary? $6 million a year. I think that's a bargain. I know that he's the highest paid manager in North and South America. I'd have to pull up the list again and see who the highest paid national team manager is in the world. I'd say he's probably top 5, but I think the $6 million was a bargain for Mauricio Pochettino. I thought that was a really good deal. More than Schultz, he has to be over Schultz. But Horvath is terrible. I don't think Horvath is that good, man. I think when he played in Copa America, he really disappointed. I think Schulte. Now, I think Schulte, obviously, you're going to say, oh, he's ass because he plays in MLS. He's not good. But Schulte's one of these goalkeepers. He's 23. He has like some of the best statistics in MLS at the goalkeeper position. I think that he will probably make the move to Europe sooner than later. Like maybe even this winter. He's only 23 years old. He's pretty damn good. I don't know what type of league he would move to per se. I don't want him to go to the Premier League and be a backup because that has just been killer for us. Our last two goalkeepers that were supposed to take the round or take over for Guzan, Zach Steffen was on the loan army at Man City, couldn't get any consistent minutes, and then he fell through. And then obviously Matt Turner went to Arsenal and he really tanked. So I don't want to have another situation like that. Greg will ball bouncing. Oh, brother. Poch has to rekindle the soul of the USMNT. It's a clean slate for the players. Yes, he's got to reignite the fire in these teams. I was talking to my friend Adam Turner about this the other day. Past USMNT players played with a chip on their shoulder because they were playing in MLS. They were playing on a lower team in the Premier League. They were playing on a small team in Europe. They weren't playing for Juve. They weren't playing for Milan. They weren't playing for Arsenal. They weren't playing for Man City. So these guys in the past played with a chip on their shoulder because they felt like with the stigma of U.S. soccer, they had to prove themselves. And I don't believe that the guys we have today feel like they have to prove themselves. They feel like going to these big clubs is they've proven themselves. Like, hey, I've done something that U.S. soccer players haven't done before. I have proven myself. Look at who I'm playing for. Landon Donovan wasn't playing for Milan. Clint Dempsey wasn't playing for Juve. Tim Howard wasn't playing for Arsenal. So I think that is kind of like in their mind, and that needs to be changed. We need to have that chip on our shoulder like we did when these MLS players. I'm not saying we need MLS players. I'm saying we need the mentality of like just having to prove ourselves, have the chip on your shoulder, play like the other team's disrespecting you and thinking less of you. And they do, honestly. They do think less of us. So Horvath should be the third goalkeeper at best. Okay, who do you have at 1 and 2? Do you have Turner above Schulte? Are you still sold on Turner? Do you want Steffen to get called back into the national team? I expect Poch's system will be uncomplicated but intense. He'll get a tune out of the younger players. Yeah, I'll be interested to see how some of these young players develop under him. Not even just like even a Tillman, even a Reyna, they're still young enough. Just watching what he's done with Kane and with Son and with Eriksson, just seeing how he helped them. Dele Alli, I want to see what he can do to unlock these guys and hopefully get the best soccer that they've played in their career. Schulte needs to move to Europe. Yeah, no, I listen. If the right move comes, I agree. But Schulte cannot afford to go to a Premier League team and be a backup goalkeeper and never get any minutes because we need him to be playing consistently. It's better to get minutes than to be rotting on a bench. It doesn't even matter what club you're playing for. It's best to get minutes and stay in form. I don't MLS. I don't watch it much. Been to one game, and that was like 5 or 6 years ago. But Schulte needs to go to Europe to expand his skills. I mean, yeah, I like I said, I agree. I think Schulte definitely the trajectory is he will make a move to Europe sooner than later. He's only 23 years old. He's been very good in MLS. This is only his second season starting. So you see the potential there. I think that he'll be moving there sooner than later. I've been coaching soccer as my only job since I was 20 years old, and this is the first time we have a real manager who the players will actually respect and listen to. Yeah, and that's another thing, Stuart. Appreciate you the comment. That's another thing too. We need somebody who can hold these players accountable. We need somebody who's not afraid to bench somebody who's not playing well. We need somebody who's going to tell them, "Hey, that's not good enough." Hey, Pulisic, you're not being a captain. Give me your armband. You're not captain anymore. You're not leading the team like you should be. We need this is what Pochettino is going to do. He's going to hold these players accountable. He's going to put the ones who want it bad enough in position to succeed. And I think that this is going to, like, clean slate. the players are talented. We all know that, right? Everyone knows that. Anybody saying players aren't talented are in denial or they're Mexican fans. Okay. We have the guy now who can tell us how far this team can truly go. If this team only makes it to the round of 16, then I believe that was our potential. That was our ceiling. Like Pochettino is going to unlock the potential and show us. And now obviously round of 16 is a little harder now because there's 48 teams. But what I'm saying is if we make it to the round of 8, round of 16, semifinals, we'll know that this cycle is going to show us what our true potential is because we have the players, we have the coach, we have everything we need. It's on US soil. We're going to find out what the USMNT's potential or ceiling is this coming cycle. Schulte has trained with Feyenoord before. They will be a good league for him to start. Yeah, I would say that would be a decent move for him. I wouldn't mind seeing him maybe go to maybe like a mid-table Bundesliga club. I don't know if he could. It might be interesting. Maybe he would have to. If he did make the move, he'd probably have to start off as a backup and try to earn the first starting spot. The Eredivisie is an interesting one. The Eredivisie is definitely better. I think that would probably help him enough. I just don't want to get him in a spot to where he goes there Eredivisie, he stays there, and he can't move up. Right now, Pepe's a little different because when he moved to the Eredivisie, he was only 19 years old, so he's got plenty of years to really showcase his ability to get that next step into one of the top 5 leagues. So I that's interesting. I would be okay with that, but I would like to see him go to a top 5 league. Surely to God, there is one team in the top 5 leagues in Europe that Schulte could make the move to and be the starting goalkeeper. Hopefully he does go to Europe, but compared to other positions, I think playing in MLS is less of a detriment to goalkeepers. It is. No, listen, it is. The defense is so bad in MLS, okay? And look at the name. You see my name. I'm just being honest. The back four in MLS in totality is absolute trash, okay? But the attacking talent is what all these clubs spend their money on. All the DPs are either strikers or wingers or attacking midfielders. That's what they are in MLS, okay? So when you have a goalkeeper who has Swiss cheese defense and quality attacking players, and he's able to stop shots and have some good and have clean sheets and some great saves, it really shows how good of a keeper he can be, and it keeps him in form, honestly. Um, so I think that the goalkeeper is one of the one positions in MLS where I think that it's less of a drop off. Like if he did play in the Eredivisie, I don't think it would necessarily be that huge climb that you would want just based on the attacking talent that he's going against in MLS. That's just my opinion. What are your expectations for us at the World Cup with Poch at the helm? You think we can dream big? Oh man. I mean, it really just depends on our group stage, right? I would like to think that we could at least make it to the quarterfinals. If we can make it to the round of 8, I think that would be a great, great performance. Um, that's what I would love to see is make it to the quarterfinals. I don't know if we realistically will, but that's what I'm aiming for. That's what I would like to see. Yeah, I would say quarterfinals. I mean, we have the talent, we have the coach. Why not? It's on U.S. soil too. I don't think you guys realize this is another thing. Soccer is going to explode in 2026. I can't even imagine what it's going to look like. We haven't had a World Cup cycle in our time zone since 2014. I mean, Qatar, Russia. I mean, it was all you had to wake up at for like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning to watch any matches. Now we're going to have all these games. And I just remember how crazy 2014 was when it was in Brazil. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like here in 2024. Or I'm sorry, 2026 in the United States. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Let's see. I want to pull up a couple more quotes of what Pochettino said. So Jeff Carl asked Pochettino how he's going to adapt his methods considering how little time there is with the players. And Pochettino says he feels the opposite. He says he has enough time and we cannot make excuses. See, that's another thing too that's different from the traditional. We were always trying to like scapegoat someone, uh, make excuses of why we can't do this, why I can't do that. Like he's not saying, yeah, I don't really have enough time. So if we suck, it's because we didn't have enough time to implement things. He's like, no, there's no excuses. Like we're gonna hit the ground running day one. We're gonna hold these players accountable. We're going to implement this system day one. We're gonna go for it. There's no excuses on my end. And he said he's going to try to. Someone asked him about leagues, not leagues cup, leagues nation, and if he was going to take it serious and if he wanted to win. He said, of course. I mean, why would some of these questions are crazy, man? I swear, some of these questions are just absolutely some of the things they were asking was just blew my mind. And then the microphone wasn't working or something like that, or he couldn't hear, and Cindy had to relay some messages back to him. So that was the only downfall I think of the press conference. Copa America was on home soil too, and we did nothing. Yeah, but we had Greg Berhalter. That's automatically minus 10 goals right there. That's automatically a loss right there. When the game starts, it's not 0-0. It's nil. It's 4-0 because Greg Berhalter is the manager. No aura, no tactics, no methods, no confidence. This is different. And also the players were just checked out. I mean, come on, let's be honest. Carlisle is a bum. Hey, man, you said it, not me. Poch generally keeps his tactics simple, should translate quite well to the international football. Yes, I agree. I think he's going to really let his players play. I think he's going to be flexible. I think he's going to. I think we're going to see something crazy that we're not expecting. I think there's going to be like maybe a position change or a player that that's going to play out of his traditional position in the Greg Berhalter era. I talked a little bit about that with Adam. I wouldn't be surprised to see something a little different. Try a couple different things. Right now is the time to kind of like kick the tires on a couple things, play around with the formation, play around with the different positions. I don't want to create excuses for players to use was big from Poch. Greg allowed us to live off excuses. Yeah, Greg was always making excuses. He made excuses about excuses. So I think I think that's a breath of fresh air. I just like the accountability. If he's saying this in press conferences, imagine what he'll be saying behind the scenes. I think he's going to really get the most out of these guys. I just can't. I'm just so excited. I haven't been this excited as a USMNT fan since 2014. It's just really hard. It's really hard to get excited about Greg Berhalter for 6 years. That's it's like a nightmare. West G Pulisic at the 10. Yeah, that's what I was saying with Adam. I think that could be interesting. Maybe him playing in like a Dele Alli type position, like when he was with Tottenham and had those great seasons. Let's look that up real quick. I'm curious. Let's see what Dele Alli had when he was playing like the 10 underneath Kane at Tottenham. So he had 10 goals in one season, and then 2016, 2017, that was like his breakout season. He had 18 goals for Tottenham. So yeah, I think that could be interesting. I would like to see Pulisic maybe as more of a playmaker, play underneath Ballo or Sargent or whoever starting up top. I think that could be interesting. I think we have the wingers to where we don't need Christian to play on the wing. I think if Gio can't get it together, if Malik Tillman can't get it together, I think you gotta try Pulisic at the 10. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I would like to see that. I just want the USMNT to be uncomfortable. They are representing a national team, not a Boy Scout club or some campfire. Yeah, that's the thing. You have to step out of your comfort zone to grow as a player. And we definitely need to hold the players accountable. We have to do stuff that's always continuing their growth and their progress and their development. And I think Greg was just like, yo, these guys are already good enough. We'll just roll it out. Hey, listen, it is what it is. Hey, you want to go make some s'mores at the campfire, talk about our real life issues. You want to go grab a beer. You want to go to the hookah bar. I don't want that in my coach. I want to hold him accountable. I want him to say, hey, you played like ass. You play like that again, you're going to the bench. Like not this, hey, it's it is what it is, man. You're guaranteed a spot no matter how bad you are. Something as crazy as Pepe on the wing. I don't know about that. I don't think he'll go that crazy. Um, yeah, I don't think he'll go that crazy. I don't think Pepe can play on the wing. I don't think he has the speed. Not against the MLS call ups, against the same MLS players getting consistently called up and underperforming, because what that leads to is a repeat of our 2022 World Cup performance. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't want to. I don't think any player should be guaranteed a call up spot. It should all be about performance based. If Pulisic is playing terrible at Milan, then you got to have that discussion if you want to call him in. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but if he is playing terrible, just an example, don't call him in, or like, start to have those discussions if you want to call him in. No player, I don't care who they are, should be guaranteed to come in if they're playing bad, except for like Messi, right? And Ronaldo. But I think Ronaldo's got maybe some blackmail in Portugal, so they'll call him up no matter what league or how bad he's playing. But yeah, I think that we need to hold these guys. If Mckennie is out of shape and playing bad at Juve, then don't call him up. Don't call him up. Say, I had to watch myself there. Stay at home, do your hookah, whatever you want to do, eat your cheeseburgers, and we're going to call up someone else. Aiden Morris is getting a call up. So I think they need to start checking some egos. They need to start checking in these guys' egos and saying, "Hey, man, you think you're this, but you're not." I think that the dual Nats will. Matt Crocker says, "How confident are you that the dual Nats will go to the U.S.?" I'm pretty confident. I think if Greg was able to recruit some of these guys, I think Pochettino is going to be very effective in coaching or recruiting these guys and getting them to come here, especially because of his pedigree as a manager. And obviously, with what's occurring in the United States with the World Cup in 2026, I think that we're going to be able to have a huge pool of players that he can recruit and get. Guys, also make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit that little bell notification so you never miss any of my videos or my live streams, and also share this video with a friend. We're trying to grow the audience. We're trying to talk about the USMNT's press conference today with Mauricio Pochettino, so make sure you share this video with a friend. PJ says, I want to see Tyler Adams give the attitude he gave to Berhalter when he got subbed off. Yeah, that's another thing. Any type of grit these guys have is just always seems like it's in spurts. It's never consistent. It's never, they don't ever show it except for like little blips of like, hey, yeah, I'm pissed off, and then bam, it's over. Like if Tyler Adams played with that grit on the pitch at all times, oh man, he would be an absolute destroyer. This team would be it would be insane. Maybe Pochettino can press his buttons and get that type of performances out of him. I can see him turning Gio Reyna into Christian Eriksen. Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair comparison. I think that's who I had in my Pochettino 4 players that he can improve. I think that's who I had him comped with. Maybe it was Malik Tillman. No, I think I had Malik Tillman with Dele Alli. Yeah, I think I could see that. I think Christian Eriksen was a good player at Ajax when he moved to Tottenham, and I think that Pochettino made him a better player, like unlocked his ability and really brought the best version possible out of Eriksen, which is a trend with Pochettino. He brings the best out of his players. I was making fun of Mikey Veras' lineup. Yeah. Man, Tim Ream's got to go. What if the players start getting butt hurt since they are used to Greg and being in charge? Do you drop them again? Hell yeah, you drop them, man. Who's running the show here? Hell yeah. If they try to start that BS where they're trying to like revolt and vote John Brooks off the island, right? Survival style, get him out of here. Get him out of here, dude. Like get him out. Like, I don't want him here. Your talent is important, but your locker room presence is important too. If you're a cancer to the team, you can't be on the team. You can't be. It's going to cause too many issues. It's too volatile. You can't. No. If you're having issues like this and you're being a cancer to the team, you can't be on the roster. That lineup would have made some kind of sense if it was a 4-4-2 instead of Pepe as a right wing. Yeah. Yeah, Pepe is not a winger in any shape or form, not even in FIFA. Damn, body shaming. Hey, man, is it true? Is it true? Honestly, is it true? Bro, you calling out McKinney like that is a little hypocritical. Let's see you run for 90 minutes. Dude, I'm not a player, though. That's our job to call these guys out. I'm not being paid, and my job is not to stay in shape and play soccer. That's not my job. Now, if you want to say, "Hey, Will, you can't do that. You can't talk for 90 minutes on a stream. You can only talk for 30 minutes. You're gassed. You're lazy." Then sure, yeah, call that out. Whatever. But I'm not paid to play for 90 minutes. I'm not paid $6-7 million a year to do that. I think moving Adams to center back, if healthy, is a change we could see. Fits his skill set better as we are weak at. Man, I just don't really like. I don't like smaller center backs. I think Tyler Adams is only like what 5'9". Yeah, I don't really like that. I think that really hurts you in the aerial game. I think he's best at defensive defensive midfielder. I don't think I'd like him as a center back, and I think he's too slow to play fullback. Obviously, I think he's at the best position. I don't think that would be a good move, honestly. Some players I'd like to see get an ego check is Weah, Mckennie, Adams, great players, but they are too comfortable, especially Adams. Yeah, these guys need their ego checked for sure. They need to be in there and tell them like, hey, listen, man, I don't care who you play for. I don't care if you play for Milan, Juve, Barca, Madrid. I don't care if you're the Golden Boot winner in La Liga. If you're a locker room cancer and you're not performing for the national team and you're complaining all the time, then you're going to get the boot. Got to hold these guys accountable. You cannot let their egos. And here's the thing: none of those guys are even on that level. None of these guys are on that level. McKinney has been invisible. That's why he needs to get back in shape and starting. Dude looked checked out. He did. He looked like he was on cruise control the whole entire Copa America. And what's crazy about that is, and this is what blows my mind, is that Weston McKennie had his best season of his career at Juve last year as an underdog. They gave away his locker, they gave away his parking spot. He was an afterthought in Juve's plans, and he had the best season of his career because of all that, the motivation that he had. And I don't know where that was during Copa America, because he played like how you thought a guy who was an afterthought for a team who they didn't want would play, not like the guy with the chip on his shoulder. See, that's another thing. Look at how he played with the chip on his shoulder. We need more of that. Judgmental Deity says, would love to see an outsider player like Maloney, Fossey, Testament, etc. get a start next window to make everyone realize nobody is safe. Yeah, I agree. Bring some guys in, change it up. You got time to really do this. Be curious to see who Pochettino brings in against our friendlies against Panama and Mexico. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that. Also, one thing I want to see is the USMNT win convincingly. No more bare minimum winning convincingly and pushing for excellence, like how France scored 14 goals that one national team. I forgot. Yeah, that's another thing too. Like New Zealand, we should be drawing with them 1-1. We should be beating them like 4-0. I want to see some convincing. I don't want to see us beating up on these island teams with Jesus Ferreira, aka Pirate, Jack Sparrow, or Pirate of the Caribbean, whatever you want to call him. I want to see us beating some teams a little better than that and beat them decisively. Like beat Panama, the team that beat us in Copa America. Go beat them 3-0 or 4-0. We could do it if we get our together. Exactly. Form matters. Ballo had no business being at that last camp while Josh Sargent and Jordan Morris have been on fire. Now, listen, I'm not going to. Jordan Morris is no Jordan Morris, but Josh Sargent, yes. Josh Sargent's killing it right now. Josh Sargent is arguably most likely our best striker right now. Ballo has been inconsistent since his 1 year at Reims. I think that needs to start being in the conversation. We need to start talking about, hey man, listen, Ballo, big get recruiting and doing that. But that's another thing. I think that Greg thought he was indebted or like owed Ballo something because he chose us over England. England wasn't going to start Ballo. If Ballo is not playing well, he should not be starting. We owe him nothing. I don't care that he picked us. If he's not playing well, he shouldn't be starting. Josh Sargent should be starting. Adams is more of a fullback. Maloney and Tessman would be good at center back. It's not just about talent. The character needs to be there. Ask Chelsea. As for McKennie, he was overweight at Copa. Greg allowed it. Poch won't. Yeah, that's the thing. I think Poch will probably look at these guys. I think they do physicals before they actually make their decision, or maybe when they announce their player roster, they'll do physicals on the players. And if McKennie came in and that scale was tipping a little bit too far to the right, yeah, you're going home, bud. You're not playing. I'll take James Rodriguez, who plays better for a national team than Vinny Jr., who plays better for his club anytime, any day. Yeah, it's crazy. Or what about Shaqiri? Shaqiri plays like ass for his club, and he's good for the national team. Yeah. Hey, one other thing too, real quick. I'll read more of your comments. One other thing that a lot of people were wondering with Pochettino was if he would live here. Like a lot of people were wondering if that was one of the stipulations, or possibly um, possibly selling points that they made to him, like, hey, if you take over the job, you don't have to live in the US, you can live in Europe because that's where a lot of players are, and you'll be able to keep an eye on him. And he interestingly, like, he actually said today that the ideal is to live in the United States. Obviously he would want to keep an eye on the players in Europe, but he said he wanted to live in the United States. I thought that was interesting. I expected him to have a place here, but I didn't expect him to say he would want to live here full time. I honestly thought he would probably, say that he would probably spend most of his time in Europe. So that was an interesting answer, to be honest. To be honest, he is still an afterthought. Sargent got injured though. Unfortunately, Sargent has a glass ankle. Yeah, Sargent can't escape the injury bug for sure. Gio would be kicked by Poch in 2020 in the 2022 World Cup. Yeah, but honestly, I don't think that Gio would that whole drama wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for that just a weird relationship him and Greg had. It was just very weird. MLS moves is slowly turning away from MLS and it's glorious. No, man, I wouldn't even say I'm 50-50. I'm just trying to, I love the national team. I like talking about it. I think it's important. And obviously 2026 is coming up, and I want to be involved with it. I've always kind of just followed it from the sideline and just kind of focused on MLS, but I love the national team. So I want to talk about it with you guys and cover it. And, it's important. I think that the national team success affects MLS. Do you think club form is all that matters, or club and country form? A player benched at the club but performs for the country like Dest at Barca, or a guy good at club that struggles for Liga MX like Santi. I think it is all circumstantial. I think if you're having a good run with club, you obviously are going to get a call up for your national team as long as you're not a cancer to the team. Now, like Dest, like you said, he wasn't playing for Barca, but he's playing well for us. It's a little different because we knew that Dest had good performances with the USMNT, so we knew that he was capable of playing well, even though he wasn't getting minutes with his club. But I think that's why Dest made a move back to the Eredivisie, because he knew that he needed to get some minutes or that wasn't going to last, even though he is a good player. So yeah, I think that you definitely need minutes. Look at Zach Steffen. Zach Steffen let's look at this is actually crazy because Zach Steffen I typed in Man City. Zach Steffen was the heir to Brad Guzan, and he was supposed to be the next great goalkeeper in the USMNT history. Let's look at this tragedy of a career trajectory, which is crazy. Okay, so Zach Steffen obviously had two great seasons with the Columbus Crew, 2017, 2018. He was 23 years old at the end of the 2018 season. Let me make sure that I'm getting that right. I don't get his age wrong. Okay, no, right. He was 24. He was 23. So he's 23 years old into this, and in 2019, he was 24 years old, and he played half a season. He got a move to Man City. They wanted him to be the backup goalkeeper. Okay, so he makes the move. He goes on loan to Dusseldorf, and he played 17 matches. It was okay, nothing crazy, right? It was all right. And then look at this 2019-20. So from at the end of the 2020 season, he had one appearance for Man City, 12 in all competitions, 9 in all competitions in 21-22. Went on loan to Middlesbrough. He did play there. He did play for Middlesbrough a full season. But then 23-24, he didn't play. He didn't play at the end of or the beginning of the 23-24 season. So he's missed a lot of matches in the only full season he's played since 2019 was at Middlesbrough, 42 matches. So in 5 years, he's only played one full season. You cannot do that as goalkeeper. You have to be playing consistently. And that's what's wrong with Adam Turner. Sorry, that's my buddy that does the streams with me occasionally. Matt Turner makes the move to Arsenal at the end of the 22 or at the beginning of the 2022 season, and he's only played 17 matches. And now he played 7 for Arsenal, but that's just not good enough. You cannot have your number one playing that little. They need to be consistently playing. You need your goalkeeper to be getting minutes. Now, Patrick Schulte, he's got 47 appearances the last 2 years, and I'm very high on him. I think he's going to be a very good player. Like I say, he's 23. But my point is that playing is very important. You have to be playing to get these minutes and try to stay in form. Do you see him rating the MLS at all or no? Yeah, he said he did. I think that he said he did not care what league you came from. It's all about he's going to check out any player that can play for the national team. I think he will look at MLS, but I don't think he's going to look at MLS in the traditional sense that Greg did. I think he's going to look at MLS and maybe some players that we're not thinking of, maybe like a Caleb Wiley when he was here would have gotten a call up sooner than what he did. Players like that, some younger players. Oh God, what's the guy? Noel Buck, maybe getting some more call ups or a call up. Players like that. Josh Sargent plays like ass in the national team. Yeah, well, maybe that would change. Maybe Poch can improve that. Men in Blazers dropping a Poch interview at 1 p.m. Eastern time. By the way, I'll check that out. Men in Blazers is okay. I'm 50-50 on them. People defending athletes being overweight really bother me. That's literally the bare minimum to become a pro athlete. Yeah, I mean, look, that's their job. Where to watch the interview? You can watch on the USMNT official YouTube page. It's where I watched it at. Full interviews there. Keep in mind, though, there's going to be some audio issues. The audio was messing up on it quite a bit in the beginning. So his first words as the USMNT manager, no one even knows what he said unless you were in the press conference. I have no idea what he said in that interview. Pochettino wanting to bring all Hispanics living in the United States to support the USMNT was a massive message, in my opinion. Yeah, for sure. How many? Man, could you imagine if we got all the Hispanic Americans to not only support MLS but the USMNT? How much bigger it would be? I mean, that would be crazy. There are so many Hispanic American soccer fans who don't care about the national team or MLS. If they could tap into that market, it would be incredible. Jonathan Miller says, I don't want to see Adams anymore. You don't want to see Tyler Adams anymore? I mean, I would at least give him a chance, right? I love that he said we should be fighting for tickets, no empty stadiums for games. Yeah. I mean, I think the first game was I know one of the games is in Cincy. Was the other game at Sporting Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken? These are 20,000 seat stadiums. The fact that they're half empty is embarrassing, honestly. Really embarrassing. Just sad. If I lived close enough, I definitely would have went, even if it was kind of like a meaningless friendly. I still would have went. I mean, you think that there's at least 20,000 people in the area. I don't know. I think the tickets were relatively cheap as well, which is crazy. I want to see if we can flip Suzuki from Japan and give Kachin starts so we can prepare him for 2026. I want a technical goalkeeper. Yeah, and Gaga is obviously supposed to be like the crown jewel, the best goalkeeper we've ever produced, and he's on loan army at Chelsea. Listen, I'm okay that he left. I didn't want him to stay in MLS. Obviously, I think he needed to make the move, but He's just on loan army. We need to get him to a club where he can stay and actually grow instead of just going to all these random ass clubs, man. Like he's at Barnsley League One. Are we? Is League One a better league than the Belgian Pro League? Is League One better than the Belgian Pro League? Like that is a step down to me. That's a step down to me. Like I think the championship is probably on level with the Belgian Pro League. So like that's not good. The guy's getting older and he's going down in quality of league. League One's not even better than MLS. Anyone in the comment section that says League One is better than MLS, you're full of it. There's MLS is definitely better than League One in England. Definitely better than MLS is definitely better than League One. So that's not a good sign that he's playing in a worse league. That's bad. Not good. Suzuki is already cap tied to Japan. Unfortunately, he played in the last Asian Cup. Already has 12 caps. Unfortunately, he's gone. Wish we had him, but it's hard getting a Japanese dual nat because they'd have to give up citizenship. That's tough. Is Lenina capable of being a ball player goalkeeper? Not sure. Poch be heading over to Miami to hang out with some Argentines, ask for some advice, and choose 8 players for his 27. Choose 8 players from Inter Miami? Has Ricky Puig played for Spain yet? No, he hasn't. That's interesting too. That could be something. Ricky Puig, Lucho Acosta, Hani Mukhtar. I wouldn't mind seeing those guys play for the national team. They're not going to start, so calm down. Nobody lose their mind over it. I think that these could be guys that could be good depth pieces, and that they're good. They're really good. They're the best in MLS. No, I'm done with him. He's a terrible leader, and he's always injured. Adams, I want to see new players. I just don't think they're going to give up on him yet. He's only 25 years old. I think he's still going to get a chance with this team. Yeah, hopefully we do prepare and develop Slanina and Kachin for the future. Yeah, I mean they have to. Slanina, Gaga cannot be playing in League One, man. He just can't. He needs to be playing at least in the Eredivisie, the Belgian Pro League, or the Championship. That's very concerning that he's took a step down in league play. That's not the trajectory you're wanting. The Euro snobs will tell you otherwise, but I agree. Gaga is too low and probably should have gotten a loan back to MLS if it was available. Yeah, he should have. I mean, there's plenty of teams that can use a goalkeeper in MLS. I mean, I don't even know if he needed to do that. I think there could have been a better team. I don't know why he's at Barnsley. I don't understand that. Like, that's just crazy. The Chelsea has killed so many of our USMNT's careers, players' careers, minus Christian, but hell, that could have been bad too. Honestly, that could have been really bad if he hadn't gotten out of there. But Matt Miazga and obviously, Gaga's not looking well right now. I just hate the loan army, man. I hope they make that rule change where they can't just buy players and loan them out forever. You need to limit that stuff. Wish we could have gotten Castellanos. He's a quality player for sure. Yeah, Tati Castellanos is a very good player. Very good player. That would have been a good addition. Puig would only be eligible for 2030. He would walk into the starting 11, in my opinion. Interesting. So do you think Puig is better than Mckennie? That's an interesting one. Take it from an English man who lives near a League One club. League One isn't better than MLS. Yeah, I think that MLS is not as good as the Championship, but I think it's close. Like, it's not like, huge difference. I think League One, MLS clears League One. I don't think that is particularly close. I mean, let's look at, just real quick, just for comparison's sake, let's look and see what their transfer market value is on some of their clubs. Yeah, see, 41 million. Birmingham City is the most valuable team, and like 4 million. Dude, are you kidding me? I think that the lowest MLS value team would be like number 2 in League One. So that's just crazy. What is wrong with Reyna that clubs don't play him? Well, he's apparently a weird guy, and he might be kind of a head case. I don't know. And also he gets injured a lot. There's a lot of variables with Gio Reyna. I don't know, man. He's got to figure it out soon. I mean, he's only 22 years old, so I think he's got time. Maybe he's not even 22 yet. Maybe he's 21 still. Yeah, he's still 21. He'll be 22 in November. He's got plenty of time still. He just got to figure it out. I mean, we'll see what happens. I do think that Poch could maybe lead him in the right direction. We know Greg wasn't leading him in any sort of good direction. Any chance Kevin makes a World Cup appearance? I don't. I think he's still too young. I think he's too young. Maybe if it was Jurgen Klinsmann, maybe he would have taken him. Maybe like a Julian Green situation. I think Sullivan's too young though. He's only 14. I think 2030 will be like when we start to see him really probably be an impact player for the USMNT. MLS is like a mid-table championship Belgian level, and League One is insanely low. Yeah, I agree. It's crazy. It's embarrassing. Puja's vision, creativity, and delivery is above anyone else's bar and Reina. Yes, I think he's better than Mckennie. Interesting. That's an interesting take. I don't know if anybody. I think you might get a lot of people disagreeing with that. Bear in mind, Birmingham were relegated from Championship in May. Yeah, that's crazy. So that's why they're more valuable, I guess. Is it fair to say MLS is on a similar level as the Turkish league right now? Good development league? No, 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 not even close. Like the Turkish league, the Super League is damn near contesting for top 6 with what they've been doing lately. I mean, look at this. Now, listen, their bad is bad, but their top 4 is really good. Like Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, Besiktas, they're all very good clubs. I mean, Galatasaray, they just got what was the guy's name that they got on loan from Napoli? What was his name? Oh yeah, Osman. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. 100 million. He's valued $100 million, and they got him on loan. You think MLS is getting a guy like that? So yeah, no. The Turkish league clears MLS. Clears MLS. Gaga needs to be in the Bundesliga next season, or else we might have to find a different keeper for 2026. Yeah, that's where I'd like to see him play. Like maybe like a French team or Bundesliga. Just a lower table team. Just get some minutes, man. The Turkish league makes the Champions League. Yeah, that's another thing too. They're playing in the Champions League, so I mean that's not the only deciding factor. But they got more money. They spend more money. MLS wipes Turkey leagues outside of the top 5 teams. Yeah, but you can't. That's included, right? That's included to the team. Like if you say, yeah, if I took out the top 4 teams in the Premier League, then La Liga would clear the Premier League, or but you can't do that. That's part of that's how it is. That's part of it. I'm confused. Is League One in the French league or the French First League, or do you? I mean the English Third Division. It's called League One, but yes, it's also called League One in the French League. I'm talking about the English Third Division. Any team that can make the Champions League can beat MLS. Not any team, but most teams, I'd say. I'd say MLS is on par with the bottom half of the championship. I think it's a little better than that. I think it's probably like I think Inter Miami would probably be like, and Columbus Crew would probably be in the top 6 of the championship. Like they'd probably be in the top 6. All right, guys, I'm about to head out. Final questions. I got to go get some lunch with my wife. Final questions. I'm going to go for maybe 2 more minutes. Make sure you like this video. Subscribe to the channel. We're getting close to 4,200 subscribers. Hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. Also, follow me on Twitter at MLS Moves so you never miss any of my tweets. Appreciate everybody stopping by. That's fair. There's top 4 teams clears MLS, not the league as a whole. Galatasaray from Turkish league would destroy MLS, including Inter Miami easily. I agree. Yeah, for sure, 100%. Grade the Poch hire. I'd give it an A plus. I think it's the best hire we could make. Honestly, realistically, I think it's A plus. And I. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I can't wait to I can't wait to see what he does with Panama. Gotcha. I'm newer to all this, and always MLS is better than League One. I'm like, no way. Yeah, no, yeah. I'm talking about the English third division. All right, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Hope you have a great day. Poch, it's a different new era. Greg Berhalter's officially done. Very excited to see what happens. Panama and Mexico is right around the corner. If you guys like MLS, don't know if you do. Some of you probably hate it. But I'm going to be doing a live stream for El Tráfico tomorrow, the biggest rivalry in MLS. Hope to see you guys there. It'll be starting at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. Should be a good game. Hope to see you guys there. Love you all. Appreciate what you do. Until next time, I will see you all soon.